great. My name is Angela Fountain, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Public Information Manager for the city's Department of Public Utilities. I want to welcome all of you here today on this great occasion. We thought that, well, we're glad that it's not actually raining, all the tornado warnings and things, but you know, we wanted to be on the safe side, so we moved it inside. But this is a great accomplishment that we're here to celebrate and highlight. So we thank you all for your presence here today. And you know, there's a lot of history at this wastewater treatment plant. This treatment plant, I believe, was built in 1956 and has gone through a series, a lot of upgrades. 46, I think, to be exact. I think that's what Eric told me this morning, about 46 upgrades. So this is the most recent one, and you know, it's a great accomplishment, not only for our city, but also for definitely for the citizens of Richmond, but also those beyond Richmond. So we're glad that you're here, and welcome. I always like to start off, if I can, with a little joke that I think is appropriate. So I did run this through someone. So what do you call a wastewater expert?
Clair.
That's true. You call a wastewater expert a connoisseur. I know, very corny, but we have a lot of connoisseurs in the room today, so we really appreciate you guys being here. So I have the honor of serving as your MC, and I'm going to call up next our Director of the Department of Public Utilities, Bob Stidell. He is a great advocate. Many of you know that Bob actually used to, before he took over the directorship, he was the Deputy Director of our wastewater and water treatment facility. So let's welcome him now.
Well, good morning, everybody. I see a lot of friends here. I see a lot of colleagues. I thank you all for being here. As Angela said, this is quite a facility. It's been here for a very long time, doing really great things. Again, I'm going to come back to this, but I really want us all to think as we talk today that the mission of this facility is a mission that has to do with public health. And I really want to emphasize the fact that prior to the history that Angela was talking about, we used the river as a sewage treatment plant. And that's okay, because that's what we knew. But we got smarter. We got smarter and understood what we could do with science, technology, engineering, math, STEM. And by the way, big plug for STEM. A lot of what you're going to hear about today was designed by people who were educated in Virginia. I'm not going to say which colleges, but people that were educated in Virginia. But we learned what we needed to do. I have been very fortunate to work in both the city of Richmond and the city of Hopewell. And both of those two communities recognized that we had turned our backs on the river back in the 50s and the 60s. The river was just something that you wanted to stay away from. But both of those communities embraced the fact that we have a river and we want it to be cleaner. And the cleanest river that we can have means our citizens can enjoy it. And if not for that commitment, we wouldn't be standing here today. So again, we want to truly recognize the fact that we as Virginians and as Richmonders have come to value what is so very important to the central theme of Richmond, which is the James River and the clean water for it. Also, again, because I did come from Hopewell, I remind everybody that somebody is always downstream. So what we're getting rid of today, our friends in Hopewell will be drinking later. But it will go through a modern drinking water plant, and it will be fine, and everything will be great. So I hope you've enjoyed reading about the accomplishments of what happened over the last few years, upgrading the sewage treatment plant. There are amazing pollution reductions that are taking place in this facility. But my only job this morning is to acknowledge those who have carried us to this point, that have got us to the successful implementation. Again, it's a combination of engineering, chemistry, and biology. It all works together. And to make it all work together, it takes an awful lot of work. So, there are many in this audience who have really made this day happen, and I'm going to go through each one of the layers. First and foremost, I have to thank the citizens of the city of Richmond. If they did not believe that clean water was a priority, they would not have paid the fees it takes to run a wastewater treatment facility. They all agreed that it was time that we had clean water in Richmond, and they were willing to pay for it. I'm sure most of you know we pay the highest wastewater fees in the Commonwealth of Virginia. But I believe we're taking those fees and doing exactly what the citizens expect us to do, to have the cleanest possible river through the application of their dollars. So first of all, we have to start that with them, and we owe them many, many thanks. Also, I've said it to folks from DEQ, I really want to recognize the Commonwealth of Virginia. Both DEQ and the General Assembly really stepped up through the Virginia Water Quality Improvement Fund. They also recognized the value of clean water, and the value of clean water meant you had to have money. And they brought money to the table for cities like Richmond and other sewage treatment plants throughout the Commonwealth to be able to upgrade. So we really, really want to thank them as being significant financial partners, as well as significant technical partners too. They looked at all of our drawings and suffered through the process with us, and we really very much want to recognize and thank you. One of the things we kind of forget is the City of Richmond City Council and city administrations. They also supported us with this project because, as we were talking earlier, the project actually began in 2006. We have been working this project for over 10 years. And we really want to thank the administrations and the city councils who allowed us to have the funds and the ability to be able to do this work, because they could have easily have said, especially during the Great Recession, it's not in the budget. You all don't get those monies. But they kept the course, they understood the priority of clean water, and again, that's why we're here today. Really want to thank our engineering, procurement, legal, construction management, and contractor teams. You all have been real strong partners through this, and we've had some interesting discussions and interesting times, so I want to thank you for it. You brought value engineering and unsurpassed skill and delivered to the citizens of Richmond a facility that is actually really a marvel on how it can be operated and how clean the water can be coming out of it. You've done a great job, and we salute you, and we certainly thank you. Day in and day out, this plant has to be operated to its maximum efficiency, and you've given us the tools through your application of your skills to be able to do it. I really want to also recognize the DPU engineering and project management team members. They gave of blood, sweat, and tears their knowledge, their skills, and their abilities, and they gave to the wastewater operations and maintenance team a project that can be run well, can be run efficiently, and do exactly what it was meant to do as in service to the citizens and in service to the city. I can't name everybody, but I will name one, Bob Stone. Bob Stone, thank you very much for all your hard work. So where we stand today, this pollution control facility has to operate day and night. It has to operate on sunny days, and many of you are here when we operated on the day that Tropical Storm Gaston visited. It has to operate in 100-degree heat. It has to operate when it snows. It has to be operated when the snow melts and comes into the sewage treatment plant. We have to be able to withstand industrial spills, and we had a very long industrial spill that really gave us a loop for a very long time. It has to work in times of flood and in flood recovery. These are multiple priorities and missions that we're asking, first of all, the physical facilities to do, and secondly, each one of you to be able to operate this. And we are very, very blessed to be able to have this kind of facility. So again, thanks to all of us who have brought us to this point. But I do want to also talk about the folks who operate the plant. So first of all, we start with the pretreatment team. The pre-treatment team is a team that protects the workers, protects the treatment plant, makes sure that what is coming in the front door is exactly what should be coming. The collections team that does the sanitary sewers, the combined sewer system maintenance and operations, thank you very much, because without you, it couldn't get from there to here. We also have to remember the flood wall team. The flood wall team is critically important during times of flood because all the system works together. And the flood wall team is out here in stormwater, wastewater, so if without them, we couldn't make this happen. And then the Chaco retention basin folks, the folks that operate the 50 million gallon basin across the way, thank you for being here. I guess they're over operating. I don't see anybody. As you know, it rained like heck this morning. Did anybody miss the rain? Okay. So at 7:45 the rain started, and our 50 million gallon basin, our 7 million gallon tunnel, and our 3 million gallon tunnel were all full in 10 minutes. So that tells you how fast these systems fill up. So, but without them, we couldn't make it work. So they make sure that what comes into the plant gives everybody who works here the ability to remove all that pollution so it doesn't go back in the river. So the laboratory team, the maintenance team, the operations team, they all work together in this complex facility. They have to be a team that works together, and they do a great job of it because we release back to the environment 3 different ways. Clean water back into the river, the solids that we take out of the plant that we use as biosolids, land application, nutrient supplement for agricultural lands, and what you smell going up. We have to make sure that all of that is clean and sanitary. It's the job that you do every day. I know Claire's going to talk more about that job, but I do want to thank you all for that job. One other group I want to recognize is the people here that plan, that help to do the work. They have to plan the work. They have to stock the parts. You have to have the administration to carry out the procurement of goods and services. And then again, technical services provides us additional ongoing support. Thank you all. Without you, we all could not have done our job. So I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to salute you for your public health service mission. I'm going to give you my tagline that many of you have heard. Because of the work that you all do, the mention of cholera, typhoid, and dysentery is not part of our communication anymore. We do not talk about those diseases. Generations of Richmonders have grown up healthier because of what you have done. That is your public health mission. You all do a fantastic job of it. It's a proud and noble tradition for you all to do, and I thank you very much. And now I'm going to introduce somebody who needs really no introduction. The Honorable Levar M. Stoney is Mayor of the City of Richmond, and I know you've all seen it. He is a leader who serves the city with passion and dedication. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Stoney.
Well, you know, agencies like this don't run themselves. Correct? We are lucky and fortunate to have the service of Bob Steidel. And Bob, I want to thank you for your service and seeing this project through and seeing this agency through many, many successes. So let's give Bob a round of applause. Today happens to be a wet day in the city of Richmond. But I imagine there's always a wet day sometimes when you work with the Department of Public Utilities. It's great to see all of you here today. I'm here to celebrate the completion of a major capital improvement project in the city of Richmond's infrastructure here at the wastewater treatment plant. Although the benefits may not readily be apparent to the average person, the project has resulted in the reduction in nutrient pollution discharged to the James River by nearly 2 million pounds. Imagine that. 2 million pounds. That improvement is possible because the investment and partnership between the citizens of Richmond and the Commonwealth of Virginia to preserve and protect our beloved James River. The upgrade improves Richmond's technology and treatment capacity and reduces the amount of nitrogen discharged to the James River by over 1.7 million pounds. making our city's wastewater treatment plant one of the best performing treatment plants along the James River, right here in the city of Richmond. While Richmond and the people who visit here are benefiting from an increasingly healthier James River, improving the river's ecosystem means it is healthier for all of us to use. That includes wildlife and fish who make their homes in the James. We're already seeing results of this improvement by the return of the shad to our river and the increasing number of eagles who've come to nest along the James River in the Central Virginia region. We think this investment and improvement should be celebrated, not just today, but every day. I think we got Bill Street here, and I know, Bill, you'll talk here in a few minutes, but think about where the river was 20, 30 years ago. And think about some of the cities you may visit, whether they're in the Northeast or in the Midwest, that have popular rivers. But I gotta say, we have a great river right here in Richmond. It's because of the work of our friends here at the Department of Public Utilities. And I am fortunate enough to be the mayor of the city, but also to live along the James and see people enjoy it, to see animals enjoy it as well. You can't get this sort of, there's no other asset like this in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and we happen to be the caretakers of it. So this celebration is to a cleaner, healthier James River, and let's continue to treat it like the jewel that it is, the one that I think is, it's a proud jewel to wear in our crown as the capital city of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Stoney. Great, great words there. Well, as we continue with our program, I did want to say that if you all did not receive a keepsake, or if you did not receive your souvenir booklet, please, when we dismiss or when we go back to for some refreshments, please make sure that you pick one of those up. Our next speaker is Mr. James Golden. And Mr. Golden is he serves as the Director of Operations for the Department of Environmental Quality. He's been there since 1991, so he's no novice. In this position, he oversees the agency's divisions for air, water permits, water planning, land protection and revitalization, enforcement, and DEQ's 6 regional offices. So he's got a lot on his plate. He has a number of staff and management positions. He has held a number of staff and management positions with the agency, including permit writer, regional permits manager, deputy regional director, and deputy director for program development. Mr. Golden has also worked for the Department of Conservation and Recreation and spent several years in the private sector with an environmental consulting firm. Let's welcome Mr. James Golden.
Thank you. Don't let the long description fool you. That's just how state service jobs descriptions are. And I want to thank Angela for using the word no novice. That's code word for getting kind of old. And along those lines, before I get kind of into the perfunctory reading a little bit about the dollar amounts and the grants and loans, because that's really what I'm here to do, I would like for you to indulge me. I'd like to read a few sentences from an editorial in the News Leader that appeared back in 1963. Now that's a little further back than the mayor mentioned when he said 20, 30 years ago. When I was mingling, there were probably a couple of us with enough gray hairs to remember back that far. But in all seriousness, I'd like to read this to you because it really, I think, puts a point on what all of the work and the effort is for. And just some of this just struck me as amazing to think it's really not been that long ago. The James River's surface is a dull and greasy green. Bubbles of methane gas rise to the surface caused by rotting materials on the river's floor. There are catfish gasping for breath at the water's surface. This is serious now. Gillies Creek pours raw sewage into the river. The odor of sewage and of things long dead clutches at the nostrils. Here, no aquatic life of any sort survives. Our river is a sewer. The lower James today is as dead as it was in 1947. So that just sort of gives you an idea of kind of where we've come. I think it also helps put a perspective on the things in 2017 we consider to be environmental emergencies, and so it just really helps put a point on it. So on to the perfunctory part. The Virginia Department of Environmental Quality truly is pleased to have partnered with the city by providing funding for many of the city's projects that have greatly improved water quality in the James River. The facility upgrade that we're here celebrating today was funded with $50 million in grant funds and over $55 million in 0% interest loans. Additionally, the Commonwealth has strongly supported the city's efforts to address their combined sewer overflows, which Bob talked about with all the rain today, with $35 million in 0% interest loans and another $69 million in state CSO grant funding. We're very excited, and I mean that, to continue to work with the city in the future on many more water quality improvement projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bowen. Our next we're going to hear from Mr. Of the James River Association, Mr. Bill Street. And Mr. Street is the Chief Executive Officer for the James River Association. He's a native Richmonder. And just a little bit about Mr. Street. He grew up camping at the mountain headwaters of the cow pasture and Jackson Rivers and spending summers on the Chesapeake Bay. As a child, he remembers following his father as he waded in lush underwater grass beds, dipping for soft-shell crabs. But by the time he came of age, those vital grass beds were gone because pollution had wiped them out. Now, with 2 sons of his own, Bill's personal mission is to ensure that his sons are able to enjoy healthy Virginia waters that are closer to what his father experienced growing up. Let's welcome Bill Street.
I was just telling James, you now see the difference between a nonprofit online bio and a government agency online bio. But it is really a pleasure to be here today to really celebrate this. It is something that, as was said before, the average person on the street wouldn't recognize, wouldn't realize what's going on, but I think it's so important that we take this time to celebrate it. So I want to thank everybody who's put this on and thought to bring everybody together to really celebrate this great accomplishment. And so I want to say thank you to the mayor and city council for the leadership they have shown in stewarding these upgrades moving forward. And I also want to say a special thank you to Bob Seidel and Claire and your team. You're who we call frontline heroes. You are the people who day in and day out are implementing projects that help the James River and enable so many of us around the Commonwealth and the citizens to enjoy a healthy, thriving James River. And it was mentioned the pollution reductions that have been achieved since 2010. Well, I went back yesterday and I looked at some of the numbers, and in 2010, the Chesapeake Bay cleanup effort was just entering a new chapter, and pollution limits were going to be set for every major discharge. And in 2010, Richmond and DEQ, Alan Brokenborough, who puts these sheets together, puts them in order of the most over the pollution limit and all the way down to who's the most under their pollution limit. In 2010, Richmond was at the top of that list, the most over its pollution limit in the whole state. And in 2016, it was the most under its pollution limit in the whole state. So that's a tremendous accomplishment. I also want to say thank you to James, to the team at DEQ, David Paler's leadership. It really is tremendous, the multi-decade effort that DEQ has really spearheaded and kept on the tracks, and the accomplishments that we've seen there, and also to recognize our state appropriators, who since 2005 have invested over $900 million in upgrading wastewater treatment plants. That is matched by local dollars, 1-to-1 on average. So $1.8 billion invested in upgrading wastewater treatment plants. And the benefit to the James River is tremendous. Since 1985, when the whole Chesapeake Bay effort started, nitrogen levels have fallen 60% and phosphorus levels by 80%. So that's fantastic. So I want to have a great round of applause for DEQ and their stewardship of that. And then let's talk about what kind of benefits these projects are really showing. And I think a great sign of the benefits we're seeing, it happened in 2012, when Outside Magazine, premier outdoor living experience magazine, named Richmond the best river town ever. Ever! They cannot take that away from us. We will always be the best river town. It's fantastic. And then we think about what's happening along our riverfront and the excitement of just one single project, the Potterfield Bridge, we call the Teapot. In just the month of April, 76,000 visitors have traversed that new attraction to enjoy the James River. And the mayor and I happened to be in Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago, and we're able to see how they're taking advantage of their rivers. And it really showed both of us and everybody else who was on that trip that while they're taking advantage of their river, our river has so much more to offer, and we can do so much more. And then Bob said there's a downstream to everybody, and to think that Hopewell is now building trails and a new boathouse restaurant to take advantage of connecting people to the river is a wonderful testament to what Richmond and everyone upstream is doing for the James River. And then also I want to highlight something that our colleagues at the Chesapeake Bay Foundation have made available. They did an economic study of the benefits of restoring the Chesapeake Bay, $22 billion overall. We also are able to look at just the James River and what benefits a fully healthy James River would derive. $3.3 billion of benefit annually by reaching our cleanup goals for the James River. So that is really an incredible number, and makes these investments, really shows how that investment can have a return for all of its citizens. And then we think about our children and how important water is going to be in the future. The James River can be either their greatest asset, or it can be their greatest liability if we don't manage it properly. But projects like this are ensuring that our children are going to have a vital and healthy future. So we have done tremendous work. We still have work to do, and the James River Association, through our volunteers, monitor about 30 sites up and down the river where people like to go and enjoy the river, swim. So we monitor during the summer. Prior to every weekend, we take bacteria samples and post them so that people have an idea of whether it's safe to swim and enjoy the river. At Rockets Landing, right across from our wastewater treatment plant, unfortunately, not due to the wastewater treatment plant, but due to the overflows, 50% of the weekends last year, it was above the state threshold for being safe to swim. So we've got work to do, but we're marching on. We've made great progress, and I can't wait to be here for the next ribbon cutting that's going to help make all these waters safe to swim and enjoy. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Bill. Well, bringing up the rear, we save the best for last. I'm going to bring up our the superintendent of our wastewater treatment plant. Most of you know him, Mr. Clair Watson. Clair has served here in the city for about, I think Bob said 40 years? Total 40 years. And even prior to that, Clair is also a veteran, so he has given his life to public service, and we thank him.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's great to be here. 28 years with the city, not 40. 20 in the Air Force. So I did in the Air Force what I do here. So do wastewater and water treatment. So it's a privilege. When I came here in December of 1989, construction was going as we speak. I mean, that was, and ever since then, I think we've had construction going on every year since that time. So I've seen a lot in that time period, and I've seen a lot of good things happening, and it is a privilege of being here and doing this work that we're doing. Very quickly, I just want to thank everybody that has assisted us in our operation of the plant and our construction and these projects that have been done. Obviously the DEQ for their support. Had a little talk before we started our meeting today, and how some people think that the DEQ is an opponent and other people think they're helpful. So as far as I'm concerned, the DEQ is a partner. It's a partner for us to make sure we're doing the right thing. And thank you, DEQ, for all your support, monetary and wisdom and knowledge. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. You know, you can't say enough about the design work and all the things that happen here. Have a great working relationship with our engineers, our outside engineers. Thank you very much, Greeley and Hansen, for all the stuff you've done for us. We got a great renting plant, and we thank you for that. Obviously, our CM, Arcadis, thank you. Appreciate all the work you help us also. So thank you very much. Mayor, thank you very much for supporting us. We do appreciate that. And I can't do, or we cannot do the work we do without the support we get from Bob Steidel and Rosemary Green. And we thank you so much for the support that you're giving us to make sure we're getting the job done properly. Like you said, you've seen all this stuff up here about nutrients and what we're doing and how we're keeping the James River clean. And that is our main purpose in life. That's what we're here to do. And I am proud to say that the people we have here are doing an excellent job to do that. The historic James is just, I mean, you can't beat it. I'm a Pittsburgh boy, so when they talked about Pittsburgh, I'm loving it. It's a great place. So go Steelers. So, but they have some great rivers there, but the James is also great also. So a very historic river. So it's wonderful. I'm going to end it right now because I know everybody wants to leave, wants to go, wants to get something to eat, wants to whatever. But before I do that, I know we have a lot of people standing, but everybody that works here at the plant, could you please stand up? Everybody, if you work here, please stand up. There's just one thing you got to understand. You can spend $100 million and do a project, but you can't do it without them. Yeah. And that's the main thing. You cannot do it without the people doing their job. I am proud to say that I get choked up a little bit. I'm sorry. But I love these guys, and it's great. So, anyway. We're gonna have some tours of the plant. So if you want to see a tour of what we do out here at sea, we'll be happy to show you around as long as we don't have a thunderbuster out there. So, you know, but again, thank you guys. Thank you so much. You make my job easy. Thank you.
Thank you, Clair. And again, I want to thank everyone for your participation today, for your attendance today. As we've said, this is a great occasion for us all, and we are just so happy that you all found it worthwhile to come and to help us to celebrate. So I'm now going to ask all of our ribbon cutters, Mayor Stoney, please, if you would. Bob, Mr. Street, Mr. Golden. And we have yes, and Rhonda has the very large scissors. Claire, yes.
Okay, so I gotta get in the middle here.
So all of, yeah, come on, let's make it even, Come over here. Come over here. No, on the other side of the mayor, please. Yes, please, okay. And you guys, okay, you all hold on to the ribbon while the mayor holds the scissors, okay? Let me get out of the way.
It's actually really cut. You ready? Still a countdown here.
Okay, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1.